A full moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus, shaking things up, disrupting the status quo, calling inauthenticity on bullshit, seismic activity, either literally or figuratively. Expect the unexpected. These are just a few of the ways this full moon conjunct Uranus may express as it blooms Friday, November 15th, 1:28 p.m. Pacific time, which is where I am, or 4:28 p.m. Washington, D.C., since all eyes are on the American government right now. Hello, my name is Eliane Nicole. I'm your astrologer and tarot reader, and in this video I am going to talk about this very exciting, rebellious, defiant full moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus. But first I want to say, if you're watching this on Instagram, I'm only going to post the first 5 minutes here. The entire video will be available on my YouTube channel, Eliane Nicole. My YouTube channel is my name, Eliane Nicole. Please find me there. I will put the link in the profile bio of my Instagram page to get there. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Please hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. Please like, please comment, please share. It all helps me in the algorithm, helps me grow my business, helps me grow my community, helps me grow my channel, and it puts me in a position to continue to give these free astrological offerings. If you're watching on Instagram, please make sure that you're following astrology.tarot.Eliane Nicole. Please like, please comment, please share. It's all very helpful to me, and it's free for you. And now, without further ado, I am going to get into my interpretation of this full moon in Taurus. And as you know, if you follow my astrology, or as you know, just as a human being on planet Earth, we have a full moon every month. So full moons in and of themselves are not watershed astrological events. But what makes this full moon special is all of the other alignments that are going on at the same time, and the moon's relationship to those alignments, which is what we call aspects in astrology. And by the way, if you're watching this and you don't understand all of the astrological jargon, don't worry, you can still get a lot from this video. Just ignore the jargon and wait until I give the interpretation of what it means. But you know, I use the terminology just so that people who are students of astrology or who want to know how I'm arriving at, you know, these translations, you know, for people who want to know how I'm getting there, because astrologers are not psychics. We are translating a language. We are translating the language of the cosmos. So full moons happen every month. We have a Taurus full moon once a year. But what's unique about this Taurus full moon is that it is conjunct Uranus, the planet that is known for disruption, unpredictability, rebellion, defiance, pushing up against the status quo. And it is also conjunct the fixed star Algol, which is considered one of the most honorary fixed stars in the firmament. So this brings a lot of dynamism to this full moon. Not to mention, as the full moon is blooming, Saturn is also stationing to go direct in Pisces. And I just posted a video yesterday about Saturn stationing direct. So go back and watch that video if you haven't already, because that's going to give a lot of context to what's going on with this full moon. And this full moon is the culmination of several different cycles. One of the cycles just being 2 weeks ago at the Scorpio new moon. One of the cycles being, 2.5 years ago. One of the cycles being, 28 years ago, when you bring Saturn stationing into it. So there's a lot of overlapping karma and cycles that we're dealing with right now. And full moons always illuminate things. They bring light to things, and they can bring culminations, you know, endings, or just things coming to their crescendo in a particular situation. Now, to understand how this might affect you personally, you have to look at the house Taurus rules in your chart. But not only that, you have to look at the house Pisces rules in your chart, because we've got, you know, Saturn stationing in Pisces, but we've also got Neptune in the last degrees of Pisces, which is forming a sextile aspect to this new moon. This full moon. So it's very, very creative, very fertile energy going on here as well. And then we've got Pluto at the 29th degree of Capricorn, which if you follow my channel, you know a lot about that by now. And if you haven't watched my Pluto at the 29th degree of Capricorn videos, please watch them, because it may help you understand the pointed history that we are in right now and why things are the way they are in the world. But this full moon is forming a harmonious trine to that Pluto at the 29th degree of Capricorn. So there are some tangible gifts, tangible returns on investments, and that are happening for a lot of people at this time as well. So it's really a mixed bag, you know, and I argue that, or I don't argue, I'm just gonna say that I think that a lot of people want to ask the question, well, is that good or is that bad always? And that's not the right question to be asking in these times, you know. We have to get beyond good and bad and right and wrong and black and white and this and that. It's just not where it's at right now. We're not going to be making the most of any situation. We're not going to be maximizing our personal power. We're not going to be contributing to the world or the community asking those questions at this point. There are so many shades of gray that are happening right now. There really is an invitation from the universe to be kind of integrating opposites. And that's so much about what a full moon cycle is about. You've got the sun opposing the moon, you know, or the sun, which is going down right now as the moon is rising in the east. And that's what makes a full moon, because the sun is opposing the moon. And so the moon is bright, so it's illuminating something. And in Taurus conjunct Uranus, this shakeup, it's unearthing secrets. It's unearthing or illuminating things that have previously been in the dark. You know, so we're talking about the Taurus-Scorpio axis. The Taurus-Scorpio axis is the axis of money, you know, my money versus our money. It's the axis of possession, you know, our things, our stuff, our money. It's the axis of desire, attraction, and sex. You know, it's the axis of life and death, you know. And so there's a lot of weighty topics that we can be potentially seeing illuminated in our chart. It's also the axis of manifestation, you know. It's the axis of magic in so many ways. Scorpio has so much to do with alchemy and magic. And so the moon is conjunct Uranus, and then the next day it's in direct opposition to the sun. And so some people will feel this transit in their bodies. The moon really can affect our bodies because we are mostly comprised of water, and just like the moon affects the tides of the ocean, it can affect our moods. You know, if you're a Taurus rising, or if Taurus rules your 6th house or your 4th house, for instance, you may really feel it in your body. or in your mind, possibly, you know. But some people will experience it more relationally in interactions with others. Some people might experience it more situationally in, you know, plot twists or unexpected turns of events. And while others may just be seeing, you know, close friends or family, they're having more of the full moon experience, or seeing it when you're out on the street in traffic, or at the market or the bank, or you know, just reading about it in the headlines. You know, Taurus does have to do with banking and the stock market, so we may see some volatility there, some shakeups with the financial systems. Taurus can also have to do with food, and so it can be a time of, like, you know, I don't know, for some people it could even manifest in like a food poisoning situation. I hate to say it, but just be careful of what you're eating. You know, there are many different ways it can manifest, and that all depends on your own personal astrology. But it is personal for a lot of people. I mean, the full moon is at 24 degrees Taurus. So, you know, obviously for people who are Taurus or Scorpio, it's going to be very personal. But if you have any planets at 24, 25 degrees Aquarius or Leo, it's also going to be very personal, because it will be forming a T-square with your personal planets. Now, if you have any planets, but see also the cardinal signs, people with late degree cardinal signs are being affected, because Pluto at the 29th degree of Capricorn still is affecting all the cardinal people. So that's Aries and Cancer and Libra. And then the mutable people are dealing with, you know, Saturn stationing in Pisces, you know, at what, I think it's at 19 degrees. So people with 19 Virgo or Gemini or Sagittarius are really feeling the mutable energy. So we're basically at a full moon that is personal to a lot of people in varying ways. And if you're curious about, you know, where all these signs and planets exist in your chart and what it tells about your life story, contact me for a reading. I would love to read for you. I read on Zoom, so I can read for people anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. I will put a link to book an appointment with me in the description of the YouTube. So yeah, but what are things that I wanted to talk about? This is the fourth supermoon in a row. Supermoon means the moon is closer to planet Earth and it's elliptic, so we feel it that much stronger. Let's see. The moon often represents the populace, and the sun often represents the leader. So, you know, it does feel like there will be some shakeups around leadership that we are seeing in, you know, in the world. Surprise, surprise. There may be some rebellions or protests that pop off this weekend. You know, I've even made the controversial prediction that there's a possibility at some point, because of like all of the predictions from all of the astrologers, I correctly predicted that Donald Trump would win the election, which if you follow me, you know that. But a lot of astrologers predicted Kamala, and I believe that that's because there is some similar astrology between Kamala and Trump with their Gemini placements. And so I've wondered if the reason that so many people also predicted that she would win is because Joe Biden is going to end up, for some reason, health or otherwise, needing to step down before the inauguration, and Kamala would step into the position of the presidency. And this full moon is definitely one of the astrological points where that could happen, if that was going to happen, because Biden is a Scorpio, and, you know, it's opposing his Scorpio planets, and so we'll see. I don't know, you know, that's the kind of controversial prediction that I've made. I'm not afraid of controversy. I have Uranus on my sun, so I ain't afraid of a little controversy. But yeah, so Taurus often has to do with our comforts in life. So this could be a full moon that shakes some people out of their comfort zone. You know, Uranus is associated with liberation. So this could be, you know, it's like when Uranus is in the mix, it's like breakthroughs, breakups, breakouts, breakdowns, you know, any kind of break. You know, sometimes it's aha moments, it's revelations, it's, you know, illumination. Uranus can be innovation. And so when you're dealing with art, with Taurus, you're talking about art and beauty and style and money, but also the environment and the comforts of life. So it could be disruptions, breakups, rebellions, breakouts, breakthroughs, and all of these, any of these kind of Taurian areas. What else do I want to say? Gosh, I mean, I think even though it's a full moon, usually new moons are associated with planting seeds, but I think in this case, the full moon could be a good seed planting point as well for things that we want to grow, because there is just so much fertile energy in the alignments. You know, you've got this full moon that is, you know, opposing Scorpio, the sun in Scorpio, but again, it's trine Neptune, and it's in a, I mean, it's sextile Neptune, it's trine Pluto, and I don't know, there's just great creative energy, whether you're trying to create a baby or a work of art. There's great energy for growth, growing money, growing food, growing businesses, growing hair, growing families. I don't know, gosh, what else do I want to say? I feel like there was so much I want to say, and now I don't have to say it all here. I mean, I do want to say that, you know, the Saturn stationing is a big deal, but I made a whole video about that. And but that mutable T-square with Jupiter and Mercury, who are about to oppose each other, you know, there's just so much about our ideology, our philosophical belief systems, our dogma, our, you know, all of this is kind of shifting right now. There's a changing of the guards going on as Jupiter and Saturn head for their second square of this year, which they won't reach until Christmas Eve. But this mutable T-square between Saturn and Jupiter and Mercury is, you know, just, it's like the ground is liquid. It's not stable. It's like everything is changing. This is a very transformational time in the world and in our personal lives. You know, adaptability is key. I said this in the Saturn stationing video. Adaptability is going to be our best friend, our greatest strength in, you know, getting through these next couple of years. And, but this full moon, the full moon is, it's illuminating, it's an illuminating time. And, yeah, there will be some plot twists. And a friend of mine told me to call the Mike Tyson fight astrologically, and I'm like, well, I don't know, I haven't studied Mike's astrology really, so maybe I'll do a video on it. But what I was able to tell my friend who wanted to know is just that whatever's expected to happen, that's not what's going to happen. And so I don't exactly know what's expected. I'm thinking of maybe doing a follow-up, just short video on the astrology of the Mike Tyson fight. But in general, with everything going on this weekend, expect the unexpected. It's really plot twist energy. It's very revelatory energy, you know. So thank you for joining me for this video. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, and I appreciate it. I love sharing astrology, and it would be my joy and pleasure to read for you one-on-one. So definitely contact me for a reading, and I will see you soon. Stay tuned for another video. More to come on my channel, Eliane Nicole. Bye now.